Last time we visited this restaurant, it seriously disappointed us.
Is Magic Kingdom's best restaurant still getting worse?
We're gonna find out.
Disney World has tons of table service options throughout the 4 theme parks and Disney Springs, but there are none that are more immersive than where we are headed today. We are bringing you with us to the Be Our Guest restaurant, which is one of the most popular dining spots in all of Magic Kingdom. But is it right for you, and does it even live up to the hype? We're going to be trying several items off of the prefix menu, and we might even see a princely beast, if we keep our eyes peeled.
Or a beastly prince. Be Our Guest restaurant is located in Magic Kingdom. It is a Beauty and the Beast themed restaurant with very unique dining rooms and a prefix menu. It is incredibly popular and one of the hardest to get reservations in Magic Kingdom, if not all of Disney World, especially for that dinner service. Be Our Guest does offer lunch and dinner in a prefix menu. So you pick your appetizer, you pick your entree from the list, and then you get the dessert trio. Everybody gets that unless there's an allergy. The cost is $67 for guests over 10. There's also some private label champagne and wines, as well as some beer offerings, which is of course pretty difficult to find in Magic Kingdom. It is mostly a dry park, except for in table service restaurants like this one. The real draw of Be Our Guest is the dining rooms. So there are actually 3 different dining spaces in Be Our Guest. The main one that you'll first walk into is the Grand Ballroom. As you can see, it's a recreation of the ballroom that Belle and the Beast dance in Beauty and the Beast. It is absolutely gorgeous and very magical to be in here. The first time I walked in here years ago, it took my breath away, and it still does. My favorite thing about it actually is that if you look out the window, you're looking out onto a landscape where it is snowing. And I think that's so magical. It makes me really feel like I'm in the movie. We have been seated in the Grand Ballroom. We will check out those other 2 dining rooms later. My favorite one I'm very excited to go see, but they do say that they ask that you explore after you eat, since they won't bring the food if no one is sitting. I'm so excited.
This is the first time I've eaten in here. I've eaten in both rooms multiple times, but this is the first time I've ever been in here, so I'm very excited.
Not that you necessarily care about our drinks, but both of us went for caffeine in 2 different forms.
We did.
I went for coffee, I went for soda. Now at Be Our Guest, we do have a complimentary bread service that comes with your meal. It's these 3 pretty puffy like dinner rolls. They're not warm, which is a little sad, but good size, and they come with butter. So nothing too special bread service wise, but who doesn't love free bread? So the Beast will come out during your meal. He comes out periodically. He's heard you're dining at his castle and of course wants to come say hi. Now this isn't really a full character meal, as he pretty much comes out, strolls around the dining room, waves, bows. He has like a very set path, so he'll walk in. He just came in through the West Wing, went down that way, came back up, and then walked out all of the main paths, never got super close to our table. So it's not a full character meal, and that's another reason that I do kind of question the more character meal-ish prices that you get here at Be Our Guest. Is he coming back? He is! Alright, so here are our appetizers for our prefixes. I went with the escargot de Bourgogne, which is baked in herbed garlic butter and served with French baguette. That's right here. It looks really tasty. I really like escargot.
I have the duck and pork terrine. It's served with Parmesan dusted lavash, frisée, and whole grain mustard. I'm very excited. This is the first time I've had this. I've had the French onion soup here and the escargot before, and both were delicious, so I thought I'd mix it up this time.
It is so dark in here, it's hard to get the camera to stay focused. Alright, we got our bread. Bread, cheers.
Cheers. I think it's just a plain yeast roll.
It's pretty basic.
Pretty basic, but they're probably making tons of these and tossing them. They're not bad. I just don't think they're great. If you're really hungry, something good to hold off while you wait on your appetizers.
They're well cooked. I wish they were warm. The butter's good, but I wish it was salted. But I love butter.
If you like that kind of Dijon mustard, it's wonderful. I did a really thin spread on the cracker because I normally don't enjoy it as much as I do other flavors, but then the terrine on top I really enjoyed. It was a very savory, almost melt in your mouth flavor. It was heavier on the pork in my opinion. I would not have known there was duck in there unless someone had told me. I enjoy that. I like both pork and duck, but I think it's a safer option if you're nervous about trying the duck. And then the pickle wasn't necessarily bread and butter pickle, but it was on the sweeter side. I really enjoyed all of this. The combination of it together, I think, made it even better. The terrine, it is similar to a pate if you've ever had that, but it's not as smooth as a pate, and it's baked a different way, so it's a little bit more chunky is a gross word, but that it's just not as smooth as a pate. I really enjoyed it texturally. It doesn't melt in your mouth as much as a pate does, but it's still really flavorful and just gives a nice texture.
Escargot time. I've got bread. Pretty basic escargot. If you've had escargot, you know the main flavors typically come from the sauce. This is a very buttery and garlicky sauce, which is great on escargot. When you first bite it, that's the main flavor you get. The texture of escargot to me is most similar to mussels, which is why I like it, because I love mussels. If you are not a fan of that kind of like gooier, chewier flavor, you probably aren't going to like escargot very much, whether it's here or somewhere else. My complaint with the escargot here is that it is a little on the... I can taste the snail a little more than I typically can with escargot. I think escargot shines the most when the snail is a vessel for a really good condiment and you get that really interesting textural element. All right, here's our entree course. It's arrived. I got the poulet rouge chicken with celery puree, roasted wheat vegetables, and a Pinot Noir jus. It smells amazing. I can smell the wine.
Oh, I've been smelling it the whole time.
It's so good.
I got the dry aged rock pork chop. This was actually recommended by our waitress. She said it's one of her favorites. And it has lentil ragu, shaved fennel, and Dijon mustard sauce.
Yum.
My initial impression is I completely understood why she suggested this. In the past when I've been here, I've had the filet mignon, and it was good. I didn't think it was the best steak I'd ever had at Disney World. Arguably one of the not best steaks I've ever had at Disney World.
Oh.
I did not enjoy it. It was at the end of the night, whatever. I really, really enjoyed this. We've obviously had this for a little while doing our whole spread, but it is so juicy and flavorful, and the Dijon mustard sauce on the side is actually really subtle. I actually really like it. I did not expect to like it as much. I understand why they recommend this over the filet.
The chicken is very well cooked, and the skin is very well seasoned, which actually surprised me. It's a little overly salty, but because it's just the skin, it balances out enough in your mouth. What's really killer is the sauce. I can't taste that like Pinot Noir that's in it. I wish there was more of the puree. There's like very little of the puree on my plate. And I'm someone who wants to like load up my bite with everything on the plate. I don't really feel like I can do that here because it's mostly chicken. But the veggies are well cooked and roasted. It's nothing that special, and I certainly don't think it's worth the price of Be Our Guest. It's $67 a person here, and with my escargot that was fine. And this, which is good, but fine. I don't think dessert's gonna make up for the rest of the value. So I'm starting to feel like, eh. All right, so finally our meal ends with the dessert trio, which everybody gets. You don't get a choice for dessert. It's a little sampling. So we've got a lemon jam macaron, which looks very good. Then you have a dark chocolate truffle over here, which has dark chocolate Grand Marnier ganache in there. Yum, are you kidding? And then the star of the show, the gray stuff. You gotta try it, it's delicious. You can ask the dishes. The gray stuff has crisp pearls on top and a white chocolate wafer, and it's served in that little chocolate tart cookie cup. Now you used to be able to get like a gray stuff cupcake out at Gaston's, but as it stands at the time of filming, the only place you can get gray stuff is in Be Our Guest.
Raspberry macaron. As far as macarons go, I think this is right in the middle. It's very soft, almost the cream itself kind of melts in your mouth. The raspberry flavor, it's almost subtle. I don't think it's overwhelmingly raspberry. It tastes more just like a vanilla icing, kind of vanilla cream. The actual breading, like the cookie itself, I think is baked really well. It's firm enough without being hard, and it still is kind of soft in the middle, which I enjoy. I think it's fine. I enjoy this. I will enjoy eating all of it. I would not think to myself, oh, I need to go get that macaron again.
Oh.
Ooh.
This surprised me. I was expecting more of like a, you know, like when you bite into a truffle and it's all kind of the same texture of gooey. This is hard chocolate on the outside and soft on the inside, kind of like a Lindor, like Lind truffle, which I love those, so I'm not complaining. Or like one of the chocolates you get out of a chocolate box. My favorite thing about this are these little chunks of hazelnut on top. I love real hazelnut. I'm actually a really big fan of this. This is one of my favorite things that's been put on the table.
Whoa.
All right, we're tag teaming the gray stuff because you gotta try the gray stuff.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
Or so we've been told.
Great stuff, cheers.
Cheers. It is heavy on the cookies and cream flavor. I think that's the most applicable flavor. They don't really tell you exactly what the gray stuff is, but cookies and cream icing for sure.
It's basically like cookies and cream. If you mixed icing and whipped cream, that's the vibe this is. One of my favorite desserts that my family makes is called zebra pudding. And it is, you get those really thin chocolate wafers from the grocery store, homemade whipped cream, and then the night before you want to eat it, you make like a ring of the chocolate wafers held together by whipped cream. The chocolate wafers get really soft to become the same texture and softness of the whipped cream. And that's like one of my favorite desserts that my dad makes. And that's similar in flavor to this.
I personally loved the gray stuff cupcake that they used to have. It was the gray stuff with just a chocolate cupcake, but it was one of my favorite things they had in Disney World, so I have learned how to make it. If you ever want me to make that for you, I can.
I do.
It's simple, it's delicious, and you can come over and we'll make it.
I like that plan. I think it's the best of the three desserts, especially with the theming. I like the truffle just as much, but with the theming, this one pulls ahead.
They taste really good.
Yeah.
They just don't taste $70 a person good,
No.
if that makes sense.
And that's kind of how the whole meal has been.
Yeah.
Like everything's been fine, but I've had a lot better for a lot cheaper in Disney World. All right, so we did get a little souvenir with when our check came of this beautiful print of Beast Castle, and then sure enough, the Beast signature. This is a fun little souvenir that you'll get when you come to be our guest. The other rooms include the West Wing, which is pretty dark and spooky. It is the Forbidden Wing. In Beauty and the Beast, it features this portrait of the Beast that he has slashed up, and over here, the Enchanted Rose. In all its beauty. The final room is the Portrait Gallery, which is the brightest room. It has portraits of scenes from Beauty and the Beast and a beautiful statue of Belle and Beast dancing in the middle of the room.
All right. Okay, how do you feel?
I feel like I would not recommend coming here. Truly.
I have to agree, and that makes me really sad because I think it's a really neat experience.
Yeah.
And it's something that I have done a handful of times because other people wanted to do it. I would not recommend this to someone. If I come back, it's normally because other people want to try it and I'm willing to go with them.
I used to say that this was a do it once restaurant. I don't even know that I feel that way anymore, just because though it is beautiful inside and the dining area is truly spectacular, really well themed, one of the best themed restaurants in all of Disney World. The food is so lackluster and the price is so high that I just don't think that really cool dining area makes up for it. So it's something that I don't even say, I mean, look at pictures, check out videos to see that dining area. If you really love Beauty and the Beast, maybe your fry bucket, you can go do it once. There's a lot of really amazing restaurants. Honestly, if you want a royal experience, I'd recommend Shoes over in Epcot or Cinderella's Royal Table over this, because dining in the castle is really magical. So those are some other ones to look out for. We'll check back in with Be Our Guest. Maybe it'll get, a facelift sometime. But right now, not something we can recommend.
No. If you like this video, go like and subscribe.
And now go watch a review of Shoes over in Epcot. See you there!